Hello everybody, the Great Dino Ranger here again, back with another review. So we're going to kick off with all the reviews of the figures that I've gotten from my birthday. Which, in case you guys didn't know, in my last video, I did a birthday haul for everything I got for my birthday. And here's the first item we're going to take a look at. It is the Jurassic World Chaos Theory Darius and Baryonyx Peril pack. So this one's obviously based off of the second season of Chaos Theory, which right now is probably my favorite season out of the two that we have right now, though I don't know. I have a feeling that season 3 is actually going to be probably my favorite, even topping season 2. And as you can see, it is very windy, so luckily I caught that in time. So hopefully you guys can hear me, but yeah, I'm really excited to take a look at this one. A really nice pack, like I said, based off of season 2 with the Leucistic Baryonyx, the Baryonyx that's almost white in color and has no eyes at all, so it basically relies on its hearing and smell. So very creepy, very awesome addition to the franchise. Just really cool. But the pack itself is really nice. It comes with a lot of cool things. We got the Baryonyx itself, another Monolophosaurus, the movie accurate Monolophosaurus in terms of design. We got another Darius, which I think Mattel's already released 3 Dariuses. This could have been Brooklyn or Sammy, but it is what it is. But a nice addition. We got a cool little walkie-talkie, and then the same net launcher that came with one of these packs before. The packaging itself is pretty standard for these Chaos Theory. You got the logo, the title. You got both a red and ghost on the side there with the Mattel logo. Here on the side just says Chaos Theory. At the top, it's pretty much just the same thing as the front. Same with the other side as well. And here on the back, it just says the title, Monolophosaurus, Darius, the walkie-talkie, the Baryonyx, the FACSAP stuff, everything with that, and then the other 2 packs, which I already have. So overall, a really nice little pack. I will say this Baryonyx does look very larger than others, so I'm really excited to see how this looks. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a closer look at this awesome set. Alrighty everyone, so here we have the Baryonyx pack here out of the box, and taking a look at everything out of the box and everything, this is a really nice looking set. It captures pretty much everything from specific parts from season 2 of Chaos Theory. You know, we got the Leucistic Baryonyx, we got Darius, we got a Monolophosaurus, which never had an encounter with the Baryonyx, but it was around the same facility because these were like the guard dogs, to prevent people from going any further. And then we got a couple of accessories, which I come to think of it, I don't even remember if any of these are in here, because I don't know if this net launcher was in there. This could have been just something placed into the pack. And this little satellite phone here, that might have been, but I don't really remember. But either way, it's a really nice set. Great inclusions of a human figure, a small dinosaur, a big dinosaur, and some accessories. I mean, what else could you really ask for in terms of a Jurassic Park toy set? Obviously, it could include a vehicle, but other than that, I mean, this is the whole pack, the complete thing you could always want in the Jurassic Park figure pack. It's just a dinosaur, human figure, and some accessories. So, yeah, this pack is already really nice, and yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these things. We'll take a look at the little accessories. So here we got the net launcher, which there is nothing super special. This is the exact same one from the I think one of the other Darius packs from the Chaos Theory toy packs last year. That also came with the net launcher. So it's the exact same thing, and they can shoot pretty far as well. As you can see, I was aiming for the Monolophosaurus, and yet I took out Darius instead. So that shows you how horrible of an aim I got. But yeah, really cool though. I mean, it's a really huge net launcher, not entirely accurate to the show at all. I mean, this thing just looks super heavy for these little figures to hold. So, but you know, these are just for play factor for the most part, but it is really cool. And then we got a really nice looking satellite phone, if you guys can see. It's kind of hard to focus, but it's a really nice little piece. You can see a little bit of the numbers on the buttons right there, some words or something on the screen right there. It's a really nice little piece though, very tiny, so it can easily get lost. That's why I always put majority of my smaller accessories inside a little pack or like a little box that I keep somewhere safe. I keep some accessories with some human figures that I display, but with this one, I'll probably just put somewhere super safe in like that little accessory box that I have. But really nice detail for this little satellite phone, I will say. It's really cool there. Now all we need is a toy of the satellite phone from Jurassic Park 3. That would be awesome. Next, we'll take a look at the human figure. This is, well, we have another Darius, which is fine. I like Darius. He's probably my favorite out of the main group of the campers here. And yeah, while I do like Darius, it's a nice new figure. I would have probably preferred a character we don't have, because we've already got Darius a couple of times. We already have Ben, we already have Kenji, we already have Yaz, but yet there are two that we don't have yet in the Chaos Theory form, and that is Sammy and Brooklyn. So this could have been a perfect opportunity to give us one of those, but instead Mattel packs a newer, not really a brand new Darius. It's just like a different shirt color, but I didn't bring the other one with me. I probably should have done that, but it's pretty much the same figure overall. It's a really nice looking figure though. It pretty much captures the look of Darius in the film, or not film, the show, excuse me. Yeah, really nice paint work on the face. Sometimes you can get a lot of sloppiness when it comes to the printing on the face, but this one's actually pretty spot on. The hair is nicely sculpted. I like the wrinkles in the shirt. You got like these little dirt speckles on the front of his shirt to kind of match like his shirt's dirty. So that's really cool. Everything else is nicely sculpted. The wrinkles in his pants are nicely done. The color on his shoes are well done as well. The laces are painted. The underside is painted white. The rest is all black. So Mattel did a really nice job with this Darius figure. And yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. I still need to get that yellow coat Darius too at some point. But basic articulation for these human figures. The head can swivel, move up and down. Side to side movement. Full rotation. You got the elbow joints as well. The swivel here at the waist, and then you got the leg movements forward and backwards, and here at the knee, that itself can move. So basic articulation for these human figures. But other than that, while we could have gotten a brand new character, it's nice to get another newer version of Darius instead of at least a repack. But it is cool regardless. Next, we'll take a look at the Monolophosaurus, which this one is just a repaint from the previous ones we've gotten. This one, I mean, I really like a lot because this is the movie or the canon accurate Monolophosaurus sculpt, which I really do like. And they just kind of gave it a different paint job, which this one I think is similar to a certain other one that we gotten before. We'll do that when we do comparisons, but overall, the detail is pretty much the same. It's a really nicely done Chaos Theory Monolophosaurus. Yeah, just basically same sculpt. The tail could have been a bit more thinner and much longer, so this is obviously just a repack, a repaint, instead of a brand new sculpt. But who knows, maybe we'll get Chaos Theory or Camp Cretaceous figures in the Hammer collection, so maybe we'll get a more movie-accurate Monolophosaurus down the line. But this one will hold us off for right now, at least for me anyways. But this one looks pretty good. This one still has the really fat, gloppy teeth, which a lot of the figures now have kind of shown some of the more skinnier teeth. So that would be cool if Mattel applied that to this one. But, you know, I think this one's pretty good the way it is. Color-wise, the colors are really nice as well. I like this dark bluish color with the yellowish stripe on the end. And you got a little bit of a lighter white for the underjaw, which would have been nice for it to kind of continue down the neck and on the underside. You got a nice yellow eye with a black slit, looking awesome. The head sculpt is actually really nice on these Monolophosauruses. I really like these ones a lot more than the originals that Mattel used to do. And then the crest here looks really nice with this brown color, makes it stand out. Obviously toe claws aren't painted, but that's to be expected. We got a little scan code right there. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty basic, I'd say, but it works articulation wise. You got the jaw that can open and close, and oh yeah, the inside of the mouth is nicely painted as well. The whole inside of the mouth is actually painted. That you don't get that a lot, so that's really cool. And the head can move, or the neck can go up and down, as well as swivel. Arms can move back and forth, so do the legs. They don't really pivot in and out. I guess that's kind of one of the things I like. The pivoting out with the hips, they're kind of good. Sometimes they work, sometimes they're kind of annoying. But it's kind of nice when they don't have that. And then you got a swivel in the tail, which is completely useless, but you know, it is what it is. But overall, it is a really nice Monolophosaurus. And then we get to the main star of this pack for me, and that is the Leucistic Baryonyx. This thing looks fantastic. This is such a great Baryonyx figure. And I was surprised that Mattel kind of gave us a completely brand new sculpt. I would have thought they would have, I don't know, just retooled an original sculpt like the Roarvors Baryonyx and just kind of sculpt it to the point where they gave it no eye or just changed the color or something like that. But Mattel gave us a completely brand new figure, and this is just awesome. This thing it's downright amazing, and I really do love this one a lot. So, I mean, it's just such a great Baryonyx, I would say. And I was actually surprised. I would have thought that we'd have gotten a normal Baryonyx in a white color palette, and I actually would have thought that Mattel would have kept the eyes there and just not paint them to kind of look like it's blind. But I don't know why I would have thought that. I love Mattel so much that they produce such amazing figures, so I don't know why I would think that low of them. But either way, I am really happy that Mattel actually went the extra mile and actually not sculpt in any of the eyes at all. So this thing literally has no eyes. So it relies on its sense of smell and sense of hearing, which is really cool. A very new thing for this franchise, I would say, with this Baryonyx. And I really do like this one a lot. So, and the paint job is actually really nice. They kind of made it more of just a plain white. It actually has a little bit more of a shine to it. That might be just based on the plastic, which is actually kind of interesting. I mean, the Baryonyx was not albino. It was leucistic, which is actually, I think in other words, it's close to like a light pale color, but there's still some remnants of the actual like different shades of color. It's not just plain white like an albino animal is. So that's pretty interesting. Mattel could have maybe added some more of like really light gray textures here and there instead of making it all white, but it is what it is. We do get some of this brown shading around the eye socket and a little bit here on the skull as well, but it looks really nice. The inside of the mouth is nicely done. You got like this nice separate plastic insert pieces inside. You know, you got the rubber teeth, which is awesome, molded in like this yellowish white color, kind of stands out instead of just being plain white like the body. And then the rest of the mouth is like this fleshy pink color. It's a nice detail on the tongue as well. And yeah, the teeth look really nice. I like how Mattel is doing these rubber teeth. I always wanted to see this in the Baryonyx, and after the Epic Attack Baryonyx, I'm glad we got to see this applied to a smaller Baryonyx figure, so that's really cool. And everything else, sculpt-wise, is amazing. It's a brand new sculpt from previous ones. Like here at the head, it's kind of hard to see, but it's covered in scales, which is very reminiscent to the Baryonyx designs in the show. You can just see just the scales just continue inside the eye socket. That's so cool. It looks just like how it did in the show. It's a very creepy dinosaur. And you can see the nostrils right there. Just the famous head shape of the Jurassic Park style Baryonyx. And like I said, it's kind of hard because it's like a metallic, shiny plastic, so it's really hard to kind of distinguish a lot of the detail on here. Here on the top, you can see a lot of nice scale work. Here on the neck, some nice rows that pretty much go all the way down the body. This nice row of scutes or osteoderms, very distinguishable for a Jurassic World Baryonyx. And actually, the patterns on here are a lot different than how they are in the actual show or in the movies. They look a lot more segmented, kind of, instead of like that famous crocodilian-like pattern. They're just kind of different, in other words. Hopefully, you guys will be able to understand what I'm trying to say, but yeah, very nice detail in the spines up here that go all the way down the tail, and throughout the entire body, it's just like this lined texture in the skin. instead of scales. Actually, the head is the only one that has scales all over it, and then the underside is just kind of this rough texture on the underside. But it looks really nice though. You got some little scales popping out from the sculpt here and there, so that's pretty interesting. I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate, but it does add to the sculpt, I would say. Looks really nice. That continues on to the arms and the legs and the feet. Nice muscle definition, you know, kind of poking out through the sculpt here, which looks really nice. The arms are actually very different from previous Baryonyx figures. They're completely new. Like Mattel could have easily just applied those same mold on here, but no, they gave us a completely brand new sculpted hands, and they're pretty good. Got the classic giant thumb claw, very famous with the Baryonyx. Just some nice detail sculpted on the arms as well, and on the legs and the feet. The same amount of like rough lined texture on the skin, very similar to like of an elephant, and you got the nice scoots on the toes, looking nice as well. Some nice texture on the underside. You can see the dew claw sculpted in as well, which unfortunately aren't painted considering the very low amount of color that's on this figure. I mean, other than the mouth and this little brown spot right here, the main toe claws and the fingers claws are all painted in like this dark brown color, which looks nice. It's nice to see painted claws on a lot of these Mattel figures, but considering this guy doesn't have a lot of color on it already, would have been nice if the dew claw was painted, but you know, it is what it is. It is really nice though. Regardless, it is a very well done figure. And actually this figure is actually made out of like a translucent see-through plastic, which is very interesting. Instead of just giving it like kind of like a solid white, they just kind of made it see-through, which as you can see right there is incredibly see-through. So you can see all the little joints and mechanisms where all the pieces of the figures are put together and all that, so that's pretty interesting. Articulation wise, the jaw can open very wide and it can close. That's really nice. There is no head articulation, but there is a neck articulation, which I really do like on this one. You can make it look up about that far, down about that far. It can rotate kind of. I don't want to break it though, so I'm not going to force it. But interestingly, it can look to the left and right, so that's really cool. You can get a lot of cool looking to the side shots. It's gonna be good for photography and all that. I really do like that. Arms, pretty basic. They just move forward and backwards. I actually like that a lot instead of having super, you know, complex or fancy articulated joints. It's just nice when you just have it simple like this, at least for somebody that's not a Hammond collection figure. And then the legs move back, or at least this one moves back about that far, and then doesn't really move forward all that much because the sculpt of the body kind of gets in the way. And then same with this one, just kind of moves back about that far, forward about that far. So very limited, but I mean, you don't need to get it in a lot of crazy positions anyway. It's actually a really nice pose, not gonna lie. That's for this figure. It's very different from other ones. And then the tail can move up and down, left and right, as well as rotate a little bit. Actually rotate pretty much 360, so ball joint, and there's even a segment right here. Obviously I'm not going to use that, but that's pretty interesting. Oh yeah, and you got ankle articulation. So this thing is decked out in articulation actually for a basic figure, and it actually looks really nice. It works. You also got the scan code right here. So yeah, very nicely done on this Baryonyx. Now, for comparisons, I just now realized I didn't bring a regular Baryonyx because actually this one's actually a lot bigger than the previous ones. I really wish I didn't forget to bring that one out here, but this video is already starting to get a little long, so unfortunately we'll have to miss out on that comparison. This one's actually pretty large compared to the other ones, and it's a pretty nice size too, especially compared to a human figure right there. But other comparisons, here we got the first of the Monolophosaurus that Mattel made that's based off of the Camp Cretaceous or Chaos Theory design, more movie accurate design or canon design, I guess you can say. And these ones are very similar. They might be based off of the same color individuals that we've seen in the show. but maybe slightly different. I don't know, but they do look really nice together. It's nice to build your own little pack of movie accurate Monolophosauruses. So yeah, these look really nice together as well. And then we'll go ahead and throw in Red the Atrociraptor, because in case you guys haven't seen the show, or if you guys did, Red has like this really awesome and really creepy moment where it literally turned the leucistic Baryonyx against its creator, Dr. Saar, mimicking the clicking sounds that the scientists would use to control the Baryonyx. That was such a cool scene. Very similar to how the Indominus Rex communicated with Blue and her sisters. That's just, it's such a cool moment. Adds to the creepiness and intelligent vectors of the Atrociraptors. So that was really cool. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for this review, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really wish I had a better comparison set up towards the end of it, but I totally forgot certain things to compare it with. But either way, it is what it is. I really love this set a lot. If you're a fan of the Jurassic franchise, all things canon, or even just Chaos Theory in general, I highly recommend it. You can find this at Target. At least this is where this one was found. And it's just a great set, especially for this awesome leucistic Baryonyx. And you can build your Monolophosaurus pack, so that's not a bad thing either. But yeah, really love this set. Highly recommend it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again for the next review.